You're having dinner with your friend at Gali, a fine dining restaurant situated in the heart of downtown Beirut. You know that your friend recently inherited $2 million and has his eyes out for a good investment opportunity. He asks you how much you think Gali is worth and whether buying it would be a good investment.
Okay, thank you for giving me this case. Before jumping into it, I just want to recap the prompt to make sure we're on the same page.
Go ahead.
So the client in this case is my friend who just inherited $2 million. He's looking to invest in Gali, a fine dining restaurant in downtown Beirut. And my job here is to find the value of Gali and tell my friend whether or not it's a good investment, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so before we move forward, I have some clarifying questions, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So first of all, how established is Gali?
So Gali has been operating for 20 years and they're known for quality ingredients, cozy seating and friendly staff.
Okay, great. And so if they're established, I would say that their customer base is established as well.
Yes.
All right. What exactly is their operation mode?
They have both dine-in and delivery options, and they serve a mix of both Italian and Japanese cuisines.
Okay, thank you. Now, moving on to my friend, does he have any other investments?
They have no previous experience in investing in this specific industry.
Okay. All right. And one more question about Gali. Is it a franchise? Can I consider them a franchise?
They only have one branch.
Okay. So, does my friend have any criteria on the investment that they want to make?
Not really, they don't have specific criteria. They're just interested in investing in a restaurant and they're open to alternatives.
Okay, sounds good. I guess that's it from my end. I would just like to take a few moments to structure my thoughts.
Take your time.
Thank you. Alright. So to tackle this case, I'm going to segment my approach into three different buckets: market, finance, and risks. Under the market bucket, I would like to start with the market sizing exercise to see how much of the customer base that Gali currently has would be open to still visiting it under new management, considering my friend doesn't have much experience and will probably make some of his own changes to make it more modern, considering they have 20 years of experience. Then I'd go into competition to see how competitive this field is and what options my friends has in terms of acquiring a different or investing in a different restaurant, or if he were to invest in Gali, how much he would be able to succeed as a newcomer to the industry. Then I want to look at trends, what the customer preferences are versus what Gali's offering is. Under the finance bucket, I want to find the value of Gali using the NPV method. And to do that, of course, I'm going to have to assess the revenues and costs of this business. And I'd want to assess the potential growth that it still can have and that it could lose considering my friend's lack of experience. And lastly, under risks, of course, my friend's lack of experience is definitely a huge risk to this investment and business, but also the current economic and political climate of the world. That's it on my end. What do you think we should start with?
Sounds good. Let's actually dive deeper into the financial assessment bucket. So, what are some potential approaches to estimate Gali's revenues?
Okay, to estimate the revenues, I think there are 2 or 3 ways to do it. So obviously, of course, we have from the product side, so it's the number of units sold times the price of a unit. We could also do it from the customer side, so the number of customers or tables that come in times the price of this ticket. And lastly, I would do it like a more broad business than a restaurant, which would be seasonality. So I would take time throughout the year and do peak and non-peak times.
Okay, exactly. So, sounds good. Now I'm going to show you an exhibit that shows the weekly sales of Gali in the past year. I want you to give me your insights on this exhibit.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a minute to analyze and just gather my ideas.
Take your time.
Thank you. Alright, so at first glance I noticed that the highest revenues are from summer, which would make sense for downtown Beirut as there would be more of foreigners or Lebanese people living abroad coming to Lebanon. So maybe it would have a nice outdoor seating or something specific for summer, especially that they're selling Japanese, which is something refreshing for summertime. Now, as for customer preferences, which I mentioned in my framework, I noticed that Japanese is in higher demand than Italian in 3 seasons out of 4, mainly spring, summer, and fall. And this can be because in winter people prefer some warmer food, and as I mentioned, Japanese is more fresh, so Italian fits the bill perfectly. And lastly, in terms of revenues, we noticed that the Japanese options are selling way less during winter, around half, or actually 2/3. And so we see some cannibalization here between Italian and Japanese. So we also know that Japanese is more expensive than Italian generally. So maybe this would lead us to believe that during winter, the revenues of Ghana in general decrease a lot more.
Okay, thank you for your insights. This is exactly what we were looking for. So now, let's actually move to the numbers. Let's find the standalone value of Gali.
Alright.
How would you do it?
So to find the valuation of Gali, off the top of my head, I would go for the NPV method. So the net present value is equal to profits into 1 minus tax. All of this over my discount rate minus my growth rate. Before we jump into estimations, do we have any numbers or data that could help us achieve this?
Yes. So first, the tax rate is 25%. The discount rate is 15%. The growth rate is 5%. Now regarding costs, we have variable and fixed costs. The variable costs represent 20% of total revenues, and the fixed costs are $130,000 per year. Now moving on to the revenues, they're $575,000.
Okay, let's just repeat them to make sure I got everything correctly. My tax rate is 25%, discount rate 15%, growth rate 5%. Now costs are divided in variable and fixed. Variable is 0.2 times revenues, so 20% of my revenues. Fixed is 130K. My revenues are 575K.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start first by calculating my profits, which is my revenues minus my costs. So we know that profit is revenue minus cost. So 575K minus 130K minus 0.2 times 575K. Starting with the variable cost, I would take 10% of 575K and multiply that by 2. So 10% is 57.5K. So 20 would be 50K times 2 is 100K, 7.5K times 2 is 15K. So 115K for my variable costs. 115 plus 130 would be 245K for costs in general. So my profit is 575K minus 245K. 500 minus 200 is 300, 70 minus 40 is 30, and 5 minus 5 is 0. So my profits are $330K, and we're assuming this is annual, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have my profits now. Going back to the NPV formula, I still need to know 1 minus tax, and discount rate minus growth rate is equal to what? So 1 minus tax is 75%, so 0.75. Discount rate minus growth rate is 15% minus 10%, so that's 0.1. Now, NPV is equal to 330k times 0.75 over 0.1. Now, something over 0.1 is actually equal to 10. So I'm just gonna multiply this by 10 and have it all be on the same line. So that would be 3.3 million times 0.75. Now, 0.75 would be 0.5 plus 0.25. 0.5 of 3.3 million would be half of 3 million is 1.5 million plus half of 0.3 million is 0.15 million. So the sum of those would be 1.65 million, and this corresponds to 50%. I still need an additional 25%. So half of this is half of 1 million is 0.5 million, half of 0.6 is 0.3, and half of 0.05 is 0.025. The sum of those would be 0.825 million. So now I got my 50% and my 25%. I'm gonna sum them up to get my 75%. So this would be 1.65 plus 0.825, and both of these are in million. So 0 plus 5 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, 8 plus 6 is 14, I carried over the 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. My total would become $2.475 million as NPV.
Correct.
Now, off the bat, I would notice that this is above the $2 million inheritance by less than $500,000. So, as next steps, I would ask my friend if he or she is open to taking out a loan or finding another investor, knowing that this other investor would likely be someone with more experience and would help him govern this business in a better way.
Okay. So now, based on this and everything you found out so far, what would be your final recommendation to the client? Actually, to your friend.
Okay. Can I just take a few seconds to structure my thoughts?
Take your time.
Thank you. Okay. So to answer the question of whether or not my friend should invest in Gali, the answer is obviously yes. And this is driven by a qualitative and quantitative rationale, because doing the net present value valuation of Gali would give us an answer of nearly $2.5 million as its value, which is less than $500,000 away from what my friend's budget was. So the price is a really good one relative to a restaurant that's well known, has an established customer base, and has over 20 years of experience. And other than that, it would fulfill my friend's want of a business to invest in. And obviously, investing in a business that's already established is more likely to succeed. Now, of course, there's no venture without any risks. And my friend should be aware that his lack of experience does present a risk to this investment as a whole. And the price is nearly $500,000 away from his budget. But this is easily fixable, and as next steps, I would recommend that my friend find another investment, both to help cover the extra $500K that's needed, and also to bring expertise with him. Now, if my friend were to do a loan instead, and prefers to be the sole investor, he would have to hire someone to manage the restaurant for him. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, June.
Thank you.